The world is a vampire sent to drain. Secret destroyers hold you up to the flames. And what do I get for my pain? Betrayed desires and dark piece of a game. Even though I know I suppose
I can tell you, I've seen cars, people inside those cars all wearing masks, families, sometimes individuals. So it's quite a procedure. It's definitely the fastest way to get the most tests here in this big area where there's a lot of, cases. And also, it's the safest.
All right, Bryn Gingras.
The fact that this has sprung such a controversy, so much people to say, first of all, people were unsubscribing from Ian over this. People were outraged, disappointed. I'm beyond myself. And to those people, I just want to speak directly to the camera, and I want you to hear this. You are the most unfuckable, repulsive creature. Sad. You're a simp, bro. You're a simpleton. You're a simple mind. You're concerned about other people's relationships instead of improving your own physical appearance and your own ability to attract women. Okay? Your judgment of what... You are a vile slime of a human that nobody will ever want you because you're so pathetic.
Maybe you should calm down.
No, I'm serious. I'm not calming down. It's the saddest shit I have ever fucking heard in my history on the internet today. It's sad. It's shit.
And I'm more than you.
it was over. But you didn't have to cut me off. Make it like it never happened. Now we were nothing. And I don't even need your love. But you treat me like a stranger, and I feel so wrong. No, you didn't have to stop so long. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. Guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody.
Listen, I got chief rabbis in the email. Chief rabbis. You can hear me now, innit? You can hear me, bumper holes. Yes. Shit.
So on Saturday, I posted a blackout of my social media channels and just posted BLM. And a lot of folks responded, all lives matter. And I want to talk about that a little bit because I don't think that the people that are posting all lives matter should be canceled. I think they should be educated. We all agree all lives matter. But I had a really poignant experience tonight when I was putting my kids down to bed that lent the words for why Black Lives Matter. So usually Mila and I put our kids to bed, we read them a book, and our daughter always gets to go first. And tonight, as we were reading her book, my son says, wait, why don't I get to go first? And Mila said, because girls go first. And he said, yeah, but boys go first. And I looked at him, I said, no, girls go first. And I said, you know why girls go first? For you and me, girls go first. And the reason why is, for some boys, girls don't get a go at all. And so for you and me, girls go first. So when it comes to Black Lives Matter, I think what folks that are writing All Lives Matter need to understand is that for some people, Black lives don't matter at all. So for us, Black lives matter. So while you may have the best intentions in saying all lives matter, remember, for some people, Black lives don't matter at all.
I know I'm not exactly the voice that people need to be hearing right now. In fact, I need more confirmation that this is real. I've gotten some, but I need more confirmation that this is real. Trump supporters got an email that said that this email is for patriots only. You've been identified as one of President Trump's fiercest and most loyal defenders, and according to your donor file, you'd make an excellent addition to the Trump army. It goes on to tell them that they would get a limited edition camo Keep America Great hat, to let them know that you are the president's first line of defense when it comes to fighting off the liberal mob. I don't know if you know, Hitler made Jews wear yellow stars. This feels like the reverse of that.
I think the important thing for white parents to keep in the front of our mind is that if black children in this country are not allowed innocence and childhood without fear of being killed by police or marginalized in some other way, then our children don't deserve innocence. If Tamir Rice can be shot dead in a public park playing with a toy gun, something white children do all over this country every day without the same fear of being shot, if Tamir Rice can be killed, then white children need to be told at least at the same age. If they can't be innocent, we don't get to be innocent. And if we would keep that in the front of our minds, then perhaps we would be able to hear what black and brown folks are telling us every day and have been for many years.
Suck my dick, Jew. I don't like Jews. I hate Jews. I hate Jews. I hate Jews.
Hello everyone, just sitting down here with my Yorkshire goatee. I'm sorry if this offends any racists on Twitter, but I really like Yorkshire tea. I really like that they also stand up to racists on Twitter. That's fantastic. Because black lives do matter. And Yorkshire tea is great. Imagine being offended by tea. Is there anything these racists aren't offended by? They win seemingly every vote, and they're always upset by everything. Oh, the tea! Oh. I'm sorry. It's just tea, though. And it's really nice tea, you should try it. Good job, Yorkshire tea.
Crawl out from under all your little rocks and come and defend your Jewish privilege now. Come and do it. Listen, I'm not even like, don't try and say, oh, he listens to Farrakhan. I didn't need to listen to Farrakhan to know what I'm saying right now, okay? Get your top Jewish man, put him on Zoom with me.
And that had to be an impediment to NASCAR reaching out to a broader audience, as well as having more drivers want to even be part of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people of color, if you've attended a NASCAR race or even thought about it, there are just certain symbols and a certain mood and a certain sentiment that has been bubbling at the surface of NASCAR events. And NASCAR has been trying to somewhat move away from it. And I say somewhat in kind of air quotes, but at the same time, you know, as someone who's attended several NASCAR races, it's hard for people of color to feel comfortable in these environments when you see the Confederate flag everywhere, when you just get this sense that you're at something that you're not welcome at. As much as NASCAR may try to distance itself from that, it's a living, breathing part of their sport. And you have a black driver, you have an opportunity here to open this sport up in a new way. And so for this reminder, this very stunning, shocking, appalling, disgusting reminder of who, again, this sport is for, I'm very curious as to see how NASCAR handles this, because based off what everything I've read is that this had to be an inside job, because this garage was only open to essential personnel. So somebody associated with NASCAR likely may have been the culprit, which what does that say for a sport that's trying to create a more positive racial future?
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Wow. Wow.
Start clapping back, bitch, I'm clapping on the dick. Bust it, I'm a savage. Bitch, throw it back like a 10-year challenge. Take him to the crib, then I push him on the sofa. Have his breath smelling like pussy and mimosa.
Guess what? I'm getting kicked out of this country. Awesome. The ICE, the Immigration Customs Enforcement, has just come up with a law saying, oh, you have to leave the country because your school is going online. You know how much it takes to get into an international program and travel all the way across your country and missing all your family for months and months and months and not being able to see them or even travel in case of an emergency during this pandemic? The only thing that was constant in my life was my education. And now you're just taking that away from me. What is going on? And this is not, even if it's not happening to me, even if it's not happening to one of a friend that I know, it is happening to international students. And how the hell are we going to support all of them? It is unbelievable. I feel so vulnerable right now. I've been in this country for 6 years. I've never felt so vulnerable as I'm feeling today. And I don't know what to do.
If you're trying to call for the end of unrest, but you don't believe healthcare is a human right, if you're afraid to say Black Lives Matter, if you're too scared to call out police brutality, then you aren't asking for an end of unrest. You are asking for injustice to continue and for your people to continue to endure the violence of poverty, the violence of a lack of housing access, the violence of police brutality, and not say a damn thing. That's what you're asking for. So if you're out here calling for the end of unrest, then you better be calling for healthcare as a human right. You better be calling for accountability in our policing. You better be supporting community review boards. You better be supporting, the end of housing discrimination. You better be standing up to for-profit real estate developers that are intimidating people and trying to evict them from their homes. That's what you better be calling for. Because if you don't call for those things and you're asking for the end of unrest, all you're asking for is the continuation of quiet oppression. So if you want the end of unrest, then you should be asking for measures that actually liberate people in their lives from the oppression of economic and social.
This the setup.
They put them there on purpose,
Y'all know where
bro.
we at.
They gonna set them hoes right up on the route of.
Y'all know what building this is
Come
right
on
here.
now.
I ain't even gonna say what name it is.
Hey, where do them bricks go to? Where do them
This
bricks
is
go
setup.
to? Where do them bricks
We
go
gotta
to?
do better.
Ain't no damn
We
construction.
gotta do better.
Ain't no damn construction around here.
I see.
Ain't no damn construction around here. You just gonna set a pallet of bricks right there. Oh, okay.
Listen, I did jury duty 3 months ago. Y'all don't keep no bricks right there.
The only way to have a level playing field at the highest level of play is to have is to not have voice chat, to not have people give up their linguistic profiles. I mean, and maybe you think, if you are a competitive gamer, which a lot of people have been like, Steph, you clearly know nothing about competitive play. Well, competition, by the way, y'all, competition requires you to get every advantage possible. To become the top 0.01% in any video game, you have to squeeze every amount of advantage you can possibly get. Voice chat is unfair. Period.
I had no plans to make it in America. If you're here because of Nanette, why? Had I known just how wildly popular trauma was going to be in the context of comedy, I might have budgeted my shit a bit better. But I went and put all my trauma eggs into one basket like a fucking idiot, and now here we are. When I first started touring here, I was told I should Americanize my language, to which I responded, fuck off. I mean, I've made some concessions for you. I'm not a monster. Aluminum? Mm-hmm. Why would you say aluminium when you can flirt it? Aluminum. Stop it, America. And y'all? I'm taking y'all. I love y'all. Because y'all is the best, most inclusive second-person plural pronoun in the English-speaking world. Thank you, the South. What an ally.
I always want to know the truth about things. And I hate lies. And there are more lies told about Israel than about any place in the world. I have come to realize that if you believe lies about Israel, you will believe lies about almost anything. And if you know the truth about Israel, you're likely to think straight about most things. In other words, Israel is a kind of truth test. Fail this test and you've fallen into a fantasy world of untruth, a funhouse mirror of the real world. That's a pretty bold statement, I know, but I stand by it.
All right, I figured it out. I got my hat on backwards. I'm shirtless, like I'm on some episode of Cops. I'm running with the TV. Someone's gonna stop me now for sure. Because if not, what was the problem with the mod?
I just hit the 2.23 mile mark on my run today. I'm running with Ahmad and for him. He was killed on February 23rd, taken away from the world way too soon by a senseless act of violence and racism. And that's still where we are as a society and it's terrible and tragic. Today is his birthday, and he's unable to be here to celebrate it. So we're running with him because he was running when he was killed. And we're remembering him today and hoping for better days.
Okay, so this comment was on my video about the unjust killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Okay, this literally really pisses me off because it was not cops that killed this guy, okay? It was two white supremacists that were literally lynching him. The fact that you have to try and push a political agenda in a time when the entire country should be weeping and mourning this loss is just disgusting to me. Just absolutely pathetic.
So I'm making this video because I'm seeing reports all over the country of Americans responding to the coronavirus outbreak by buying up guns and ammunition. And I know that we are all scared and stressed out during these really uncertain times, but that is exactly why stockpiling weapons, could have dire consequences for our own personal safety and those around us. The weapons that people are buying today could end up being used in households, schools, churches, bars, and on our streets in the future. So we all have to look out for each other. Please, please, please share this video to help stop the coronavirus gun surge. We can't lose any more lives to guns during this pandemic or after it's over. Thanks.
Shouldn't buy something and have no idea what the brand's ethos is, right? If you care about something, the product should tell that story. Right? We're interested in stories. We're interested in color. We're interested in inclusivity. We're interested in bold and disruptive and brave. Why are we telling the same stories over and over and over?
Welcome back. We're here with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and we've asked her to share something from her home for a little late show and tell. Speaker Pelosi, what have you found? What are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate.
Really?
Chocolate candy.
Oh, wow.
And this is something you can get through the mail.
Okay.
Run out. Can I show you?
Me. Yeah, absolutely. This is the episode of Cribs I never knew I needed. Oh, my. Wow.
Other people in our family go for some other flavors, but chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here.
See, I've always felt a connection with you, and now I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Since you've been isolating in your house, how much of your regular diet do you think is ice cream and candy?
Well, as much as possible. It is. I enjoy it. I like it better than anything else. And I don't know why, but it seems to agree with me. I have a lot of energy, and we just got restocked with the ice cream right for Easter Sunday because we were, shall we say, enjoying. I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
I agree. I don't know who I am without it.
Here comes the
Here's one thing that most Republicans do that really pisses me off. They're always like, oh, illegal immigrants commit far more crimes. It simply isn't true. The Cato Institute did a study on this. They're a right-leaning organization, and they found that illegal immigrants actually commit less crimes than natural-born citizens. Another thing is they're always like, oh, we should just deport all illegal immigrants. Y'all don't realize that would cost like trillions of dollars to do over a 10-year period, right? There's also been studies that have shown that a pathway to citizenship for the illegals that are already here would cost far less money than just deporting all of them, and it would benefit our economy in the long run. I personally think that we should develop a system where we go and look at all these people that are here illegally and we determine what have they done while they're here and will they benefit our country in the future. If so, they can stay, and if they've committed crimes or they won't benefit us, then they can leave. But just doing a mass deportation of every single illegal immigrant here is not a good idea. It would cost far too much money. And
you know, we tend to take our liberty for granted, don't we? I'm embarking on a task that I've been doing every 3 weeks for the last, maybe 20 years, and that's get my hair coiffed. You know, us folks on TV, we have to have our hair cut pretty regularly. So when we go on TV, it makes us look like we never had a haircut. We're well groomed, right? It's part of the job. And I am considered so-called essential personnel. You believe that? Do I look like essential personnel? I'm not any more essential than the person who's about to cut my hair. But you know what we have to do? Because we're living under an edict, not unlike Hitler's Germany or Joseph Stalin in the Soviet Union. We're living under tyranny instead of liberty. We have to do this in clandestine style. My hairdresser could be fined and or arrested for what she's doing. This is not unlike, of course, what they had to live through.
Would the WHO consider Taiwan's membership? Hello?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
Okay, yeah. Let me repeat the question.
No, that's okay. Let's move to another one then.
Right, because I'm actually curious on talking about Taiwan as well, on Taiwan's case.
We decided to give Dr. Alward another call to follow up.
And I just want to see if you can comment a bit on how Taiwan has done so far in terms of containing the virus.
Well, we've already talked about China, and you know, when you look across all the different areas of China, they've actually all done quite a good job. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting us to participate, and good luck as you go forward with the battle in Hong Kong.
Hey, Twitter world, yours truly. Well, I'm at my local market today because I was watching a show today, and, you know, everything is coronavirus, and they were talking about what items had gone up the most, had sold the most. You know, things like Clorox and wipes and TP. But the item that they say have gone up in sales the most was something called oat milk. Something I had never heard of. I mean, I've never heard of this stuff. But evidently it has a long shelf life. You don't have to refrigerate it until you open it. Then it has a 5 to 7 day life like regular milk. So I decided I better get it. They say it's great for protein drinks. I have protein drink every morning. In any event, I saw an interesting reaction from a couple of my buddies yesterday. One is in the medical business, and he's been real concerned. But I've never seen this guy get pissed off until yesterday, when he found out that the Las Vegas Golden Knights had postponed their games, and he went through the roof. You know, now don't get me wrong, he knows it's the right thing to do, but that really pissed him off. And I kind of dogged him about it, saying, man, you don't get mad until they cancel a sporting event? That was until this morning when I saw they postponed the Masters golf tournament. I gotta admit, I was pissed off. You know, it seems like in times like this, we need those distractions. But I'm a father. I have 4 kids, so I know it's the right thing to do. I'm just glad that football is 5-6 months away. Hopefully this thing will be under control by then. I'm just saying, take care and stay healthy.
Let me start with my headline tonight. I'm retiring. This is the last hardball on MSNBC, and obviously, this isn't for lack of interest in politics. As you can tell, I've loved every minute of my 20 years as host of Hardball. Every morning I read the papers, and I'm gung-ho to get to work. Not many people have had this privilege. I love working with my producers and the discussions we have over how to report the news. And I love having this connection with you, the good people who watch. I've learned who you are, bumping into you on the sidewalk or waiting at an airport and saying hello. You're like me. I hear it from your kids and grandchildren who say, my dad loves you, or my grandmother loves you, or my husband watched it till the end. Well, after conversation with MSNBC, I decided tonight will be my last hardball, so let me tell you why. The younger generations out there are ready to take the reins. We see them in politics, in the media, in fighting for their causes. They are improving the workplace. We're talking here about better standards than we grew up with, fair standards. A lot of it has to do with how we talk to each other. Compliments on a woman's appearance that some men, including me, might have once incorrectly thought were okay. We're never okay. Not then and certainly not today. And for making such comments in the past, I'm sorry. I'm very proud of the work I've done here. Long before I went on television, I worked for years in politics, was a newspaper columnist, an author. I'm working on another book. I'll continue to write and talk about politics and cheer on my producers and crew here in Washington and New York and my MSNBC colleagues. They will continue to produce great journalism in the years ahead. And for those of you who have gotten into the habit of watching Hardball every night, I hope you're going to miss me because I'm going to miss you. But remembering Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca, we'll always have Hardball. So let's not say goodbye, but till we meet again.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. And someone will say what is lost can never be saved. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage.
think as time goes forward, hopefully doctors and scientists will get a better handle on the whole situation. Fortunately, from what I understand, you know, it is contagious, but the death rate is pretty low. So, yeah, I understand the fear.
Yeah, well, we can see you still have a cough. What do the doctors say about your own condition moving forward as we wrap this up?
Excuse me. Let me get some of that. They said, yeah, I'm fine. I got tested twice, negative both times. The cough, probably just nerves.
Yeah, being on TV.
If there's one thing that I would like everybody here today to know, is that refugees are not numbers. They're not a problem that needs solving. They are a treasure, not a burden.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. La 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 la. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side. So I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Hit the shawl cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. It feels so good in my hood tonight. The summertime skirts and the guys ain't canine. All the gangbangers forgot about the drive-by. You gotta get your groove on before you go get paid. So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hit a party. Say, I'm kinda buzzed and it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it. To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. Let's flip the crack with the old school bag. This is how we do it. This is how.
Earlier this year on Halloween, I was walking home and I noticed there was a pumpkin at my door that had a massive swastika carved into it.
This year, at my daughter's high school, they put on a performance of The Merchant of Venice by Shakespeare. There was no context given to the students. In fact, students were encouraged to cheer and chant, "Kill the Jews, burn the Jews."
In my community, the arts community, I'm deeply concerned about what I'm seeing in many of the galleries and museums.
I received an email inviting me to a seminar where an anti-Semitic professor was being given a forum, an opportunity to speak, and
I was mortified, I was shocked, I was saddened, I was appalled.
I was being targeted for being Jewish.
Hate has no place on campus.
After I wrote a story about the incident at my daughter's high school, I was actually called into the principal's office. And there was a definite undertone of, please stop talking about this. Please stop writing about this.
Unfortunately, a lot of what we're seeing reinforces stereotypes and anti-Semitic tropes, and people are not questioning this.
I will never stop advocating for Holocaust education.
The only way to combat hate is through education.
Education is the key to eliminating anti-Semitism.
Education is the only way to combat this misinformation.
So you're going to try to help elect the Democratic nominee. Is that what you're saying?
Any Democrat. John,
Donald Trump is a dictator. He's a king. He literally is the greatest threat to this country right now. Any Democrat would be better than Trump in the White House. That's not an easy thing for me to say, but that tells you how serious this moment is.
Which Democrat do you think you would be most likely to support? Which Democrat would you be most excited to support?
I don't know that yet. I think it's an interesting field. I'm going to spend a lot of my time trying to talk these next few months to Republicans and moderates and independents to encourage them that your only option, John, is a Democrat. It's not Trump. It's not the cult.
But you just said that the Republicans that you were talking to didn't want to hear it from you. So what makes you think you could convince them?
Because a lot of people have left the Republican Party. So many people have left the Republican Party. John, he's got his core cult-like following that cannot be reached. But there are a lot of Republicans and moderates on the margins. There are a lot of independents who are undecided right now.
Would you support Bernie Sanders? And I ask you, you're a former Tea Party Republican, and you're saying to me that you would support Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren?
I would rather have John Berman, a socialist in the White House, than a dictator, than a king, than Donald Trump. I would encourage, John, everybody listening to us right now, you got a Democrat debate tonight. You've got the New Hampshire primary. We've got to get engaged and pay attention to these Democrats and find out what best Democrat can do.
Io sono cinese, ma non sono il virus. No, un abbraccio va benissimo, grazie. Ma grazie. Grazie.
更多精彩尽在中国新闻网客户端。
Hey everybody, back in DC, and tonight we voted on the Never Forget Education Act. It's a grant program to teach students about the Holocaust. We're doing it tonight because today was International Holocaust Remembrance Day. It was also the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. It's also really important because our students haven't been learning about the Holocaust correctly. 2/3 of millennials couldn't identify what Auschwitz was. A fifth of millennials didn't even know what the Holocaust was. That's really alarming. And if we're going to prevent these kind of atrocities that we saw in the 20th century, we have to learn about them. Not just about what the Holocaust was, but what caused it. We have to learn how the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party, came to power. We have to learn what identity politics does to a society when one group is blamed for all of the problems of another group. When we're educated, we can prevent these things.
Because if you're Ice Cube and you put out Black Hebrew Israelite propaganda on your Twitter feed, and if you put out like actual QAnon anti-Semitism, you're totally fine. So Ice Cube, who has 5.3 million Twitter followers, put out an openly anti-Semitic picture yesterday. It's a picture of a bunch of old Jewish men sitting over a Monopoly board that is built on the back of brown people. And he says, F the new normal until they fix the old normal. Has Ice Cube faced any blowback? Is he going to lose any jobs over this? Of course not. He's a hero of the Republic.
Hasidic Jewish boy anthem. Hi, my name is Shmariyahu, and I am a Chassid. If you give me something other than Torah, then I'll just toss it. I don't drive a fancy sports car, even though you know I can. And if you are wondering, then yes, we drive a big old van. I celebrate all Jewish holidays, and I daven 3 times a day. Our main language is Yiddish. Oy vey. And if you don't like Jews, then proceed with caution, or else we'll name a food after you like Hamantashen.
So if you hear him, you will be in for a big surprise. He'll spit a rap and start a line before your very eyes. He's fast and slow and soft and strong, he's every type and style, he's a Chassid. Started rapping on TikTok, now he's rapping around the clock. He'll never try to join in the fray. Call him the Jewish rapper cause he'll lead the way. Chassid. Stay strong everybody, till next time. I'm that Jew, been that Jew, still that Jew, and will forever be that Jew, because I'm Jewish. You probably already knew this. Spreading light and joy through this. Bringing peace and happiness, let's do this, because I'm Jewish. Alright guys, I just wanted to remind you to be proud of who you are and where you come from. Don't let anyone put you down. And remember, you are unique. Be blessed, be you, and as always, no beef, only peace.
When I walk to shul on Friday night, I know that celebrating Shabbos will bring a lot of light. And yes, I am a Chassid, my pants are nice and tight. And all my haters out there, I'm not going to fight, because the Almighty gives me the light. And just so you know, I'm gonna let it shine bright, praying that this song will hit you just right. I'm so thankful that my father raised me right. Learning Torah all day long, living in a Jewish paradise. Baking challah for Shabbat, living in a Jewish paradise. Eating bagels every morning, we're just living in a Jewish paradise. Let's unite and get along so we can enjoy this amazing paradise. Oi, oi, oi.
There's some Jews in this house, there's some Jews in this house.
I'm a certified Jew, 7 days a week, praying 3 times a day. Yeet, 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 singing Avinu Malkeinu, my father, my king, dipping my challah in the hummus, just like a king. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, but we are not scared. Hashem's on our side. Haters stand blind, need to open their eyes, cause hate will fall, but love will rise. Haters should know we don't flop, we don't stop. Don't be whack, don't be whack. I'm rapping to fillin', I'm gonna be chillin'. Don't act like a villain, now this is a rap, this is a rap. Alright guys, remember to never let hate define who you are. Be proud, be loud, be you, and be blessed. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Listen, kiddo, I get it. I don't like the two-party system. I think our country's corrupt, and quite frankly, I don't want to vote for Biden. It feels like voting for a Republican. But I'm gonna do it. You want to know why? Because the alternative is a fucking fascist. A fascist is a fascist. Maybe we can have the conversation about dismantling the two-party system when a fascist isn't running. Maybe we can do that later, kiddo. Champ. Chief. Maybe we can talk about it later.
And for all of you on Twitter who are hammering me for answering that for asking that question, I don't care, because it's a question that needs to be asked, and clearly the president's Republican colleagues a mile away from here are looking for an answer for it too. So stop deflecting, stop blaming the media. I'm tired of it.
All right. John Roberts is...
I am Patricia Oliver, and this is my husband, Manuel. 2 years ago, our beautiful son, Joaquin, was shot and killed at Parkland. Every day I think about him and what his last moments must have been like.
Meanwhile, every day, nearly 100 more families lose someone they love to gun violence. Every single day, we keep telling people it doesn't have to be like this. They don't listen. So we found a way to bring back someone that no one will ignore.
It's very hard for me to look at this. So please listen to what our son has to say.
Yo, it's me. It's Guac. I've been gone for 2 years and nothing's changed, bro. People are still getting killed by guns. What is that? Everyone knows it, but they don't do anything. I'm tired of waiting for someone to fix it. The election in November is the first one I could have voted in, but I'll never get to choose the kind of world I wanted to live in. So you've got to replace my vote. Go to unfinishedvotes.com, register, then go vote. Vote for politicians who care more about people's lives than the gun lobby's money. Vote for people not getting shot, bro. I mean, vote for me, because I can't. We've got to keep on fighting, and we got to end this.
I'm naked.
I'm completely butt-ass naked.
I'm naked.
I'm like naked.
There isn't a man behind me. These are my hands.
Why you want me to be naked?
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ruffalo, put your clothes on.
To be honest, I wish I could cover my hands with my boobs, but here we are.
I'm here to talk to you about voting. Did you know that ballots could be naked?
And if you don't do exactly what I tell you, your ballot could get thrown out.
This is my ballot. Just got it.
First of all, when your ballot comes, you're supposed to read the instructions.
Read and follow the instructions that come with your ballot.
If they say to use a black pen, use a black pen.
I know that's like literally the least sexy thing a completely naked person could say, but
I have crumb like can of Pepsi. Is problem?
Number 2.
In some states like Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
There are 2 envelopes you have to stuff your ballot in. Otherwise, it's called a naked ballot.
Naked ballots. And you don't want to have one of those.
Number 3, mail your ballot in as soon as you can.
Don't sit on them. Get those things out ASAP.
Like now.
Do it!
Get it in as soon as you can.
I gotta get my ballot to the motherfucking post office. Let's go.
Please vote.
Take your clothes off and vote.
Vote, vote, vote. Everyone's voice matters in this election. Please vote.
America needs you.
I paid my dues
Time after time, I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shadows and kicks in my bed, but I've come through. And I need to go on, 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 on. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the I've taken my bows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before the whole human race, and I ain't gonna lose. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. The champions.
I'm literally so fucking tired of my fucking life! What the fuck? That is how I feel this Monday morning.
Does the Constitution give the President of the United States the authority to unilaterally delay a general election under any circumstances? Does federal law?
Well, Senator, if that question ever came before me, I would need to hear arguments from the litigants and read briefs and consult with my law clerks and talk to my colleagues and go through the opinion writing process. So, if I give off-the-cuff answers, then I would be basically a legal pundit. And I don't think we want judges to be legal pundits. I think we want judges to approach cases thoughtfully and with.
But I want to just ask you very simply, and I imagine you'll give me a very short, resolute answer. But you condemn white supremacy, correct?
Yes.
I'm all about pro-white culture, pro-white families, and I fucking love Adolf Hitler. Sea Tail. Yawn. So what? I support Adolf Hitler. I support Oswald Mosley. I support Enoch Powell. So what? All I have to say is, fuck the Jews and hail Hitler.
$100 in the chat. We would put them on.
Well, no. You know what? I get accused of silencing people. I get accused of canceling people. I want you to understand, Nick, that I don't have that control because either.
Why did you tag YouTube? Wait, why did you tag YouTube then? If you weren't trying to get him kicked off YouTube, why did you tag YouTube and YouTube support on Twitter? You're a verified account.
Yeah.
You know they'll see it if you're a verified account. Why would you tag them if that wasn't your intention?
My intention is entirely to let people know that what I saw, the harassment of that woman, as a user of YouTube, as somebody that uses the platform, I said this earlier in the show, is something that I find disturbing.
Nick,
okay?
did you say?
So,
Nick,
but did that have any effect on whether he was pulled? What about the macing? What about the macing?
City girls make them wish like Ray J. Let me talk to her. All these niggas wanna fuck JT. They do. Hellcat, this a SRT. Pull up G-Wags, C3. Make a 55 suck they teeth. He wanna menage with a new body. Man, you niggas can't fuck with me, cause I came from the bottom, from the fence to the chopper. Broke bitches ain't saying a thing, period. I tell her shut the fuck.
I was just on the 405 and I got stuck in that stupid Trump rally and they fucking boxed me in and they're pointing at me and laughing at me saying ha ha, and literally I almost crashed because they wouldn't let me out. I was trying to go around it and they were all stopping and going. They boxed me in on the fucking freeway. All I wanted to do was go around and they were just being so violent. I could have crashed. I could have fucking crashed. It was so dangerous. And I just don't understand why that's the country that y'all are supposedly wanting right now. Really? That's what makes America great? That's fucked up. I could have fucking died right now. That was so fucking dangerous. Pointing at me and laughing at a Mexican. Oh God, that was really fucking scary.
Story of COVID-19, a horrid bug, the nasty queen. You don't want to get it, you have to be aware, so wash your hands with extra care. 2 meters away from other folk. It lives in your lungs, so do not smoke. They say the hospital is a front line. I say it's not. Hold my wine. Stay at home. Close your door. A shop, a walk, and nothing more. If you do this and remember our rhyme, you'll be back with your family.
President of the local chapter of the National Association for Multicultural Education. In an act of protest this evening, we marched west on Court Street, and we didn't do anything but chant and sing all the way halfway across the bridge, at which point we met the Rochester Police Department, and guess what happened? Our peacekeepers ended up shooting pepper spray at us for singing and chanting and telling them what a shitty-ass job they were doing. They can fuck right off, America! Fuck the police! Fuck Rochester Police Department! Thank you.
Here's what goes on at our adult TikTok house called the Honey House. Sam is filming workouts for her YouTube channel, and her team is here shooting it. Nick works for a big-time agency, and so he's always talking to brands and helping them with their marketing. Bea is a mindset and meditation coach, so she's always leading guided meditations on her computer. Erin is an e-com wizard, and so she consults and advises a lot of better for you brands, so she's always sitting here on her computer crushing it. Jared's a fitness trainer and he's also an actor, so if he's not reading his sides, he's working out and he's probably eating. Nick is a mindset and motivation coach, and so he's always firing people up on the phone. Evan and Dina are models and fitness trainers, and if they're not doing a photo shoot, they're working out. And then there's me.
Athletics Association paying respects to Ahmaud Arbery by naming him to the honorary Boston Marathon team. Arbery was shot and killed while running in Georgia earlier this year. The BAA says Arbery was known in his community as an avid runner. The organization says everyone should be able to run safely without fear of discrimination. The Athletics Association putting together the honorary team to highlight people who embody the spirit of the race. And because of the pandemic, the marathon is going virtual. Runners have until next Monday to complete the marathon.
Holy fucking shit, you guys! I'm driving in a car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Fuck! Could this year get any fucking worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021!
Guys, like, do you not see what's happening? Georgia's literally about to pass a bill, or they already passed the bill, where as soon as a fetus has a heartbeat and it's detected, you can't get an abortion. Do you not realize that the earliest you can detect a pregnancy is at 4 to 6 weeks, I believe? The heart starts beating by week 3. I haven't looked up the facts, but the heartbeat can be detected way earlier than you guys are realizing. Like, I don't think you guys are realizing how big of a fucking deal this is, and like how terrifying this is for women around the world. Like, you guys don't realize that like my body anatomy is being taken from me. If I don't want a fucking child in me, I should not have to have that fucking child in me. And this should not be up for debate. This shouldn't be something that legislators in a House seat that don't even have a womb or ovaries should be able to decide. We have to fix this, guys. This is a really big deal. And I don't understand why we're not
Ain't it fun, baby, now you're one of us. Ain't it fun, ain't it fun, ain't it fun? I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
I want your stupid love, love. I want your stupid love.
Ice on my neck, that's incoming. I'm a pretty boy, I'm stunning. Super speed.
Join the NHL in the fight to end racism. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Dumbo.
I'd like to say thank you to all the fans watching at home and all the people making a positive difference in our world right now. We appreciate you. I know none of us need to be reminded about how our day-to-day lives have been affected by the outbreak of COVID-19. So I hope the Stanley Cup playoffs can bring a little normality and peace of mind during all these times of uncertainty. I'll transition topics to a topic that is very important to me, my fellow members of the Hockey Diversity Alliance, and the NHL. During this pandemic, something unexpected but long overdue occurred. The world woke up to the existence of systematic racism and how deeply rooted it is within our society. For those unaffected by systematic racism or unaware, I'm sure that some of you believe that this topic has garnered too much attention during the last couple months. But let me assure you, it is not. Racism is a man-made creation, and all it does is deteriorate from our collective prosperity. Racism is everywhere. Racism is everywhere. And we need to fight against it. On behalf of the NHL and the Hockey Diversity Alliance, we vow and promise to stand up for justice and fight for what is right. I know firsthand, as a minority playing the great game of hockey, the unexplainable and difficult challenges that come with it. The Hockey Diversity Alliance and the NHL want kids to feel safe, comfortable, and free-minded every time they enter an arena. So I stand in front of you today on behalf of those groups and promise you that we will fight against justice. We will fight against injustice and fight for what is right. I hope this inspires a new generation of hockey players and hockey fans, because Black Lives Matter. Breonna Taylor's life matters. Hockey is a great game, but it could be a whole lot greater, and it starts with all of us.
Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump, fuck him. If he ever get jumped, nigga, I ain't saying nothing. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump, fuck him. I'm DMing this bitch, nigga, I ain't scared of nothing. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump, fuck him. If he ever get
Hey, this is Todd Hagopian, live at the Let Her Speak rally at Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're here trying to get Dr. Joe Jorgensen onto the debate stage this fall. Ever since Ross Perot, the Republicans and the Democrats have taken charge of the debates and who gets to be on the stage. Every time we get close, they raise the requirement a few percentages to keep the Libertarian off the stage. So we are here all over the country today, rallying and trying to spread the word so that America can have a real third choice. And we're trying to get Dr. Joe on. So if you are here or if you're at one of the other rallies, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, and spread the word for us. Thanks a lot.
Hold up. Pose, yeah. Pose. Pose, yeah. Pose. I am photo shoot. Pose. I am. Pose, yeah. Pose. Pose, yeah. Pose. Pose, yeah. Pose. Pose, yeah. Pose. I am.
Listen up, everybody, the bottom line. I'm a black intellect, but I'm refined. New precision like the bullet, target bound. Just living like a hooker, the harlot sounds. Now, when I say the harlot, you know I mean the hot heat of the equator, the broth that's in the pot. Jalik, you wind up your hip. Drafting of the poets, I'm the number 7 pick. Licks, boy, on your backside. Licks, boy, on your backside. Listen to the fader shot, heat lets it glide. Took the earthly body, heaven's on my side. Even in Santa Domingo, and I got a gringo. We got mics, when do we go? Know a little who can rhyme when you ask me. Short, dark, and plus his voice is raspy.
1 for the trouble, 2 for the bass. You know the style tip, it's time to flip this. I like my beats hard like 2-day-old. Steady eating booty MCs like cheesecakes. My man, I'll be sure he's in effect mode. Used to have a crush on doing for men vote. It's not like Honey Dip will wanna get with me, but just in case I own my condoms, then TLC. Now the formula is this, me, Tip, and Ali. For those who can't count, it goes 1, 2, 3. The damn right, I'm a big up is who I be. Brothers find it smart to do, but never me. Some others try to diss with Malik. You see him bitching me, not care about them DBMC. Trini Gladiator, anti-hesitator, Shaheed Push the Vader, from here to Grenada, Mr. Energetic, who me sound pathetic. When's the last time you heard a funky diabetic? I don't know, man, I don't know, man, I don't know, man, I don't know, I don't know. Oh my God, yes, oh my God, oh my God, yes, oh my God, oh my God, yes.
My baby daddy chill, but I'ma keep it real. We didn't work out cause he don't pay bills. Baby on my hip so I don't wear heels. Ziploc bags and they got good seals. Cold little fridge, I keep snacks chilled. 4 years old and she don't stay still. Kiss her in the mouth and you might get killed. Eating in the car and I know she gon' spill. Woo! My life is a mess. Why did I have kids? Boarding school is next. I like morning sex, but I can't get no D with her all in my bed.
Mommy.
All I ever really hear is
Mommy.
I don't get a chance to breathe. I'm a
Mommy.
All my baby really need is a
Mommy.
Baby wipes for the poop. Don't pull on my hoops. Baby wipes for the poop. Let go of my hoops. Damn, I'm late to class. She didn't take a nap, but now we gotta go. Ooh, then I almost snapped. She really got me mad. She cried on the floor. Walking through my front door, I'm like, where's my wine? Soon as she get on my nerves, night time.
You don't need me to tell you things are a mess. Donald Trump is destroying our country and everything we care about. We need leaders who will solve problems like climate change and COVID, not deny them. Leaders who will fight against systemic racism and inequality. And that starts by voting for someone who understands how much is at stake. Someone who's building a team that shares our values. It starts with voting against Donald Trump and for Joe Biden. Silence is not an option, and we cannot sit this one out. We all have to vote like our lives and the world depend on it, because they do. The only way to be certain of the future is to make it ourselves. Please register. Please vote.
This is tough. I mean, right now my head is like ready to explode, like just in the thoughts of what's going on. And I don't know if I'm even appropriate enough to say it, what the players are feeling and how they're feeling. And I haven't talked to any of the players. I'm just like coming in, even like driving here and getting into the studio, hearing calls and people talking. And for me, I think the biggest thing now is to kind of, as a black man, as a former player, I think it's best for me to support the players and just not be here tonight. And figure out what happens after that. Yeah, I just don't feel equipped to do that.
And I respect that.
I've done no harm, I keep to myself. There's nothing wrong with my state of mental health. I like it here with my childhood friend. Here they come, those feelings again.
Why do they follow me? It's not the future that I can see. It's just my fantasy.
Athlete, the kind of star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers could be
A common argument I hear from you guys is basically this idea that these immigrants, they come with different political beliefs than the right. They come as being anti-capitalist, and for that reason we shouldn't let them in. Then why the fuck should we let you in? Why should we let you in this country, Nick? I'm sure this is all irony, like all your other videos, like the ones where you ironically talk about the cookie question, where you at the very end, to say that it's all irony, you say, oh, I believe everything the government says, sarcastically. So let's is that really irony, Nick? Is it really irony? But whatever. I'm just pointing out little things that I see. And this video is one little thing that I saw, and it seems to me that you're willing to sacrifice Western civilization in order to save it, which is absolutely absurd. What the fuck do you want to preserve? What is it that you want to conserve so bad? I don't know. The only thing that I can see that you seem to want to conserve is the race, is the demographics. But what is the value of demographics? What is the value of that if these people assimilate after 1 or 2 generations? Like, they very quickly assimilate to the culture. I'm not advocating for multiculturalism where nobody assimilates. And immigrants tend to assimilate. Just look at history. But, I mean, that's not something you seem to be interested in if you're advocating for communism in America and advocating for Christianity in America. Look at history. Look at the Dark Ages. Christianity was the dominant force at the time, and no innovation. It was just terrible living for everybody. Look at communism. That's the other system that you seem to be advocating right now. Millions of dead people, millions of starved people. It's not a very good system. It seems that you are opposed to anything individualistic, anything that is actually pro-Western. So you're not a savior of Western civilization, Nick. You're the one who's trying to destroy it. So people like you, your kind of people, don't belong in this country. Don't.
Because of the Holocaust.
The fuck?
I low-key got really sad about the Holocaust this weekend. Moses explained to me what actually happened, and I like started crying.
You just found out about the Holocaust?
I had no idea that they like tricked them into going into showers and like killed millions of them that way.
Have you seen Schindler's List?
No.
You should watch that.
I feel like I got really sad when he said that because we were watching The Producers and they had like Springtime for Hitler, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And then he was like telling me, I'm like, well, what did Hitler do? That was so bad.
Oh my god.
And then he told me.
I have to beat you. I can't lose to you.
It made me cry. I'm showing I'm empathetic. Like I'm not like making a joke. Like I was like, oh,
no,
God,
I just think
sad.
I just think you're. I can't lose. Everything is tied up in this. Just go ahead. You didn't know, you just literally asked me, what did Hitler do?
Y'all ready for this?
Why wouldn't he just come clean and say, yep, these are my creditors? You say because we don't know this information, it makes him the most vulnerable president in our history.
He is the most vulnerable president in our history in terms of compromise and potential exposure to those who want to help him dig out of his financial pit in return for a price. And that's, I think, where the national security problem comes in. That price that they would ask for is that he makes decisions in their best interest, not in our best interest. There's also another layer to this, which is that when you're this entangled with Russia and the former Soviet bloc, you're going to run smack into organized crime figures. In fact, in my work in counterintelligence in the FBI, we often couldn't tell the difference between ex-Russian intelligence officers and current Russian organized crime figures. So there's too many gaps in the tax returns. There's too many questions. Why is this president paying more to foreign nations in taxes than he is to the United States? How does he cover his debt? Who's doing that for him? What's the Deutsche Bank connection? Why are there so many golf courses losing so much money? And why the continued purchase of those properties? So I suggest this, Stephanie, we've got to have a national discussion about how we vet a presidential candidate. We screwed this up, whether it's the media not digging deeply enough, whether it's a time to have a discussion about a bipartisan committee that demands tax returns, make that a requirement, or exposes financial pictures for candidates. But we got this wrong, and this can't happen again.